guys, Justin here again with Boat Warehouse. So we're on Horseshoe Lake in the beautiful state of Arkansas, over here in eastern Arkansas, and really nice time out on the lake this evening. Really like to have a frog rod in my hands right now, but instead we're behind the console of this beautiful VX21 straight from Vexus. Man, these guys really know how to build a nice boat. So we're about to put it in gear and show you what this whole shot's about. Show you this whole shot right here, and what I want you to pay attention to is I can get this boat up to almost 70 miles an hour before I even have to touch the wheel. It drives it for you. There's not a rod in another boat that's comparable. I'm standing on the bow of this new VX21 Vexus boat, and I'll tell you what, man, it's so impressive. These guys at Vexus are anglers. They fish tournaments. They think about the stuff that anglers think of, like what I'm standing on. You notice that's not carpet. It feels good, everything's wet, but this thing is almost dry. And I tell you what, guys, when you're rigging, fishing a tournament, not even fishing a tournament, just practicing or just fun fishing, when you sit down and you're like, oh man, I gotta retie this knot, my line's all frayed, and all of a sudden you sit down and you're like, oh crap. You realize as soon as your shorts are soaking wet and your boxers that you don't set on wet carpet. You don't have to worry about that in this boat. In this model, we have a Solix 12 flush mounted on the bow. Yes, that's a 12-inch graph flush mounted on the bow, so no aftermarket brackets. Don't have to worry about it growing legs, you know. Unfortunately, people do steal things. Well, when something's flush mounted, it makes it a little harder to get off the boat, so that's a nice feature. We got some rod buckles, recessed foot pan. This has an Ultrex on it. Really nice storage. Really high lip on these things too, guys. I mean, it's really going to be dry storage. And if you look at this, what I really like on this thing is you can fit a whole lot of rods in here. I think it's like 50, a whole lot of rods. But you got this top shelf. That's going to be rods that you use more. You know, if you're bass fishing, a lot of lures are seasonal. You know, if you got your 10, 12-inch worms, that's a summertime lure. Well, you know, if it's post-spawn, like right now on most lakes, you're gonna be throwing things like that. Well, you can go ahead and put it on this top shelf. Or another thing that I would like up there is my rods with crankbaits on them, so I don't have to worry about those treble hooks getting hung up in all my other rod socks and having to cut them out. Most of my rod socks have holes in them because of that reason. This shelf right here really helped that. Let's check out this center storage here. You will notice it's huge. I mean, I could crawl in here and take a nap if I wanted to. It's so deep. You actually got room to put 360s and 370s tackle boxes under your rods if you want to. And you'll notice they're oval. That's really gonna accommodate a spinning rod a lot easier than, you know, the traditional round holes that you're used to seeing in other brands on the market. Look at that. Nice fit finish. Looks good. You got two struts on there. Really nice finish right there. Another feature is this step right here to help you get up on the bow is not your traditional step. You know, in most boats on the market, that's where your cooler is. Well, the Vexus guys, they're like, hey, most time you grab a drink, you're sitting in the boat, you're about to take off, move to another spot, you know, and say, hey, it's hot, let me grab a Gatorade, let me grab a bottle of water. Check out that cooler. It's right here in between you and your co-angler, right where it should be, and it's big too. You got another smaller cooler right here in case you need to, that can house some sandwiches or things you don't really want to get in the actual ice. So nice feature right there. Really great idea. I love the placement of that cooler. And like I said, not your traditional bow step right there. You actually have a nice spot to put some, you know, gloves, measuring tape, things like that. You know, it's a great spot to utilize some tools for fishing. Another point is if you look up under those seats, that's not your traditional base on a seat that you're used to seeing in a bass boat. That's going to be a shock absorbent seat. That's an air ride. That's really going to help absorb a lot of that impact as you're, you know, plowing through a 2-3 foot roller. Another thing to point out is I really like how you can clean and get to all the corners behind these seats. You know, everybody knows how leaves, dirt, dust always accumulates in these cracks and crevices, and you can't really reach it. You can't ever clean it out. So you can reach all the way around these seats. Check out this storage in the back of this boat. I mean, your port and your starboard storage is huge and super deep. I mean, that's knee-high storage right there. You can fit a lot of tackle in that. Your live well is really important to note. It's like an anti-slosh, you know. When you're running 70 miles down the lake, say you got, you know, a nice bag in there, some really nice fish. Well, they're not going to be bouncing around and stuff like that, and as you're running, you're losing a lot of water. It's going to stay in here. It's really going to keep your fish alive better, you know, so you can turn them back to be caught another day. All right, guys, so we're here at the cockpit right now at the helm. This is where you're going to hunt down your fish, especially when you got tools like this Solix 15 that's flush mounted at this console. It can even handle, you know, a Lowrance 16-inch model as well. So you got plenty of room to flush mount it, no aftermarket brackets, nothing like that. You'll notice, you're like, man, where's the key at on this thing? Nice key fob right here you can keep in your pocket. Great way to start the boat and to cut it off as well. If you notice over here, this is your keyboard over here. This is going to have all your switches, your horn, your live well, everything you need right here at the convenience reach, to where if you're driving the boat and you need to hit a button, you don't have to worry about safety as well. So really nice feature. You got your live well control. Look at all this room. I'm 6'2", 250. I'm a big guy, and I could almost take a nap in this thing. I mean, look at all the room you got in the bottom. That's where your gas tank is too. It's right in the lowest part of this boat. It's really gonna help it ride like no other boat on the market. And when we get up on plane here in a second, I'll cut a couple of donuts and a couple of really hard stiff turns, and you'll be able to see a little bit of that and know what I'm talking about when I say this boat performs like nothing else. It's unprecedented. I want to show you a little bit of this hole shot on this VX21 powered by the Mercury Pro Access 4-stroke V8 on the back. And I'm going to stop around 18 miles an hour, around 20, where boats are notorious other models for porpoising. I'm going to show you how this boat doesn't do that. You don't have to worry about the boat just bouncing, and you can actually see better as well. So it's actually a nice safety feature that these guys at Vexus have incorporated into this new model. Alright guys, we're going to get up on pad again, and we're going to make a couple of really severe turns in this boat. And you're going to be like, man, that's really unsafe. But we pretty much got the whole lake to ourselves. It's like glass, and we're doing it intentionally. I want to show you how this boat performs. It's really unlike anything you've ever seen. quick recap. You know, there's a lot to take in whenever you're driving and captaining a new boat, a new model, you know, on the line. And it's these guys at Vexus have really upped the ante. It's really going to be hard to even touch what they've done as far as a bass boat and a tournament ready boat. It's you know, being able to flush mount these large grafts now, you know, the gas tank in the bottom and the deepest part of the boat, where you think it should be, right? The cooler between you and your co-angler or your fishing buddy, the way they can, you know, keep these fish alive better, you know, through new technology, you know, new engineering, new concepts. You know, all these things are beneficial when it comes to being an angler on the water and you know, trying to put yourself in the best situation to compete in a tournament that might have cost you a lot of money to buy in. You know, there's a lot of things in this boat. You owe it to yourself to at least swing by, you know, Boat Warehouse in South Haven. If you're not close to us, you know, swing by your local dealer and check them out. You know, it's really something to see. And of course, if you have any questions, pricing, options, you know, we're a full parts and service department. We can install any accessories. You buy the part from us, we install it, we can warranty that work too. So keep that in mind. If you ever have a problem, you bring it right back to us. So swing by. We got all the aluminum models in stock. We don't have the glass boats yet, but we'll have them soon. So, you know, call our sales department. If you have any questions, set an appointment. You know, we want to be able to spend as much time with you as we can. So look forward to meeting you. Like I said, give us a call. We'll see you there.